today's a special day.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yep, you may have heard. There's a reason for women everywhere to celebrate. It is International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Very specific theme this year. It's Break the Bias, and it hopes to shed light on biases against women that fuels gender inequality. So there's also a challenge this year. They're asking if you will actively call out gender bias, discrimination, and stereotyping each time you see it. So what are some of the biggest biases? For young girls, there are some obvious ones, like girls should play with dolls and wear pink, and girls should be well-behaved, thin, and beautiful to make them appealing to men. Tori, what are some of your experiences as a young girl with some of these gender biases?
The well-behaved. And I mean that lovingly. What I mean by that is I was always just told to make less noise, be less Tory. And sometimes I was out of line, and I understand that, and a teacher's got to do or whatever. But I have to understand that, like, with my parents' beautiful support, I made as much noise as possible, and I ended up exactly where I wanted to be. Exactly. And I want to let all the women out there, all the girls out there know, like, make your noise. Whether or not your noise is a hum, mine's more like a tuba or like a bassoon. You know what I mean? Like
a bassoon?
Yeah, like it's like a slide whistle, but I will say
baritone?
That's a good one. I like that one too. I would just say make as much noise as possible and be the biggest self you can be, even if that's a quiet as like a mouse. It's really important.
Do you know how I respected Women's Day? I didn't jump on you with that one. I let it go. I let it go.
You were very patient.
That's right. It's Women's Day.
Thank you. Do you understand what I mean, though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm more of a symbol because, like, you know, everything's going okay, and I'm just like,
Nice.
That's actually really good.
That's very good.
Yeah.
See, my metaphor's working.
Yeah, it is. It
As a
is.
young girl, and you know, we have to divide up when we're speaking about women's rights. We have to divide up white women, women of color, BIPOC, because there really is a difference, unfortunately, in the treatment of what you look like as a woman. So, as a young black girl in Chicago, how did this resonate with you?
well, I think it's very similar to how people approach me in a less than positive way now. It's very much, who does she think she is? The thing is, I've always known who I was. I've always been very comfortable with that, even when other people were not. But I think a big part of that is because I had such strong examples. And when you can see it, you can really be it. And to have my mother, my aunts, you know, my grandparents really just show me in ways that the things that I'm able and capable of doing now, the seat that I get to hold on a daily basis, is because they were doing this long before anyone was even cracking a door or a window open. So if they can do it, I absolutely can. And the only reason why I sit here every day is because I know that someone else needs to see that. When I'm not capable of holding that space anymore, then I will move so someone who is ready for that challenge can be here to sit here every day.
Female empowerment. I love it. Well, adult women face many biases at home. Women are expected to want children, and something is wrong with them if they don't. That's what society says. And they are also expected to do the majority of the chores around the house. Do you agree with this statement, Tori?
Yeah, and as a 40-year-old woman without children, I definitely feel sensitive to this one. It's weird for sometimes, and I'm not saying this is for everyone, there's infertility, there's a lot of things, to sometimes say it's a choice that I might not want children in my life because no one, that's less of a stigma than it was before, but that is not the popular train. And when you step off any popular train, it's a bit of a leap of faith, and you have to be a bit brave, to be honest. I'm not like patting myself on the back. I'm just simply saying, yeah, I feel like I have to push through that feeling a lot, and that comes from society and Jewish parents. Hi, Mom, I love you so much. I know you're watching. But it's a difficult thing to be honest about because of that societal claim. I'm a woman, I should be maternal, I should nurture, I should have a baby, I should nurse, all of that thing. And if you don't want that and you want your career, yeah, that's less of a stigma, but there's still an it's like a swimming upstream a bit sometimes. Yeah. That's a real feeling.
I think that it's kind of a, limiting thought to think that you can't be all of those things without being a mom. The same way that being a mom, and if that's your priority in this moment, in this time in your life, doesn't limit you from all of the great successes that you'll have outside of that. And I'm just wondering for you, Sam, like, we witnessed you become a mom twice, So how do you feel about the idea that you are realizing some of your biggest hopes and dreams in terms of leading this show, but also leading your household as a mother?
It's a lot to manage. It is. And I think this country needs to do a lot better with supporting women and men when it comes to not only, well, let's just talk about family, because that's what I can speak to. So when you do choose to have children, and I say choose, it should be everyone's choice, and society should not make you feel either way if you decide to be a parent or not. But when you do become a parent, we need to have support. We need to have support like other countries do, where you have mandated family leave, where you have support to help you raise the children so you can be present at home. If you want to be at work, you should be able to have some sort of stipend, to have some sort of help at home if your family's not nearby. So we have a long way to go in this country to support women and dads to make sure that they can be the best parents that they can.
Yeah.
But another thing that I think is really important that I wanted us to discuss is one of the most common places for discrimination is at the office. I know many of you have seen it, you know it. Well, a survey found a large majority, 62% of women have experienced gender bias at work. Here are just some of the examples. Women don't need equal pay because they have husbands to support them. Assertive women are unfeminine and bossy. A study also found that women are 30% less likely to obtain management roles, and it's even worse for women of color. Tori, speak to me. How do we combat this? Now, I just want to reiterate, there is a challenge now.
Yeah.
The challenge for this year is to call it out.
And there's a famous meme, have you guys seen this, where it's like, I want to call out this guy in a meeting where every time someone interrupts a woman, he always goes, I'm so sorry, what were you saying? And brings it back to her. And it's a quiet little microaggression that most women would completely understand, I think, when you're talked over, you're spoken over, or you're just ignored in some ways. And he always lets that be heard. Let that be you. Let you be that guy or girl or woman to represent that. It's those little things. It's not big things anymore. It's not like working 9 to 5 where it was like they could do horrible things to you. I mean, really sexual discrimination in the workplace. But it's subtle, and the subtleties take a toll, and they wear on you. So be the person to call that out. I'm really proud of the theme of this year.
Jeff, how do you feel? You've always been an ally. You're always making sure that people feel supported. You celebrate your wife, Jordan. So what are some of the things that you would recommend to some of our male viewers that they can do?
Well, you know what's weird? It just when we do stories like this, our show, and again, I'm not saying it because our show, it's such a great example of women in the workplace, right? You're our leader, Sam. Above you is another woman. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have strong females on this show, right? So when we do these stories, I'm like, I think the times have totally changed, but I understand that outside of this workplace, even though it's great in here, it's not like that out here. So I have to put myself in that mind frame as well. Because when I look at this place, I'm like, wow, what a great environment that we have here.
Your statement alone, I want people to hear. The fact that you say, what a great environment that we have here. We have strong women here. Some people look down on that. So the fact that you say it in such a positive manner, that alone, I think speaks volumes. So thank you, Jeff.
Watch a woman give birth and you'll have a whole new respect. Trust me. Twice. Yeah, and it's like, men don't belong here. I could have took the day off.
Men don't belong.
We wouldn't be here, yeah.